We are back here with our friend Paula Bernstein. We're in Carolina Women at Oldfield. Mark.
Kasma. Yes.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
I see we have a slight little injury today.
We
so
do.
I'll tell you what, a woman who doesn't say no. Let's talk about habit and motivation.
So Mark is here as a perfect example of what I'm going to explain today. And actually, this is pretty timely too, because when we have any kind of setback, we have to make a decision of whether we're going to move forward with what our goals are or we're going to let that event take us back. So when we want to change a habit or build a new habit, like Mark did in this case, is we go through what we call the habit loop. And the first part of that habit loop is the cue. So the cue for Mark was, I want to change my lifestyle and I want to lose weight, right?
Okay.
So that was the thing that got him motivated,
Got it.
right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then once we have this idea in our head, we go to working on our response. So what is our response to that cue?
Cue and then response. What was your response?
Oh, the keys were when we first started talking about macros and my eating habits and my drinking habits. What was I putting in my body? Paula was letting me know the pros and cons of all those things, and she immediately put me onto an app.
Right.
Okay.
My fitness app, and that was really the start of that.
So that's where the response comes in. That's your action. That's what you're going to do about what has you motivated to begin with.
So now I know what I want to do. I know how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have an app to help me get there.
That's, you could certainly use that. So your response, of course, yes, is the emotional state, right? How does it make you feel? If I do something and then it makes me feel good, guess what? I'm going to want to do it again, right? So now what we learn is that in that cue stage, we're really motivated. That's the great part, right? We feel good, we're emotionally charged, we really want this, but what's good and bad about motivation is that motivation makes you want to do something. The bad part is it's fickle, it's temporary, it wanes, all right? It is a feeling. So what do we need to keep the motivation or to keep the motivation going, or what to do when the motivation is gone as it fades? What do we need? We need discipline. So discipline, as we know, is what you do even when you don't want to, even when it's not convenient for you,
And
right?
accountability.
So Mark is a great example of that because he had this goal. I want to lose weight. I want to change my lifestyle. So motivation is the feeling, is the emotion, it's the start. Discipline is the end. It's how we carry out that goal.
So how did you work with Mark to achieve his goal?
The first thing I needed to know was what was his true goal and what was his current lifestyle. Right? We have to know what we're changing, right? So when it comes to a bad habit, right, we need to think about what are our bad habits. So for Mark, what would you say what are the top 2 bad habits that you had currently in your lifestyle?
I would say it was snacking. Whenever I wanted, if I saw a bag of chips or cookies or whatever, I would just eat it.
Got it.
And I didn't track it, I didn't do any of that. And I think the other was, I like to have my cocktails.
Yeah, cocktails.
A retired person, worked my entire career, and on happy hours, 4 o'clock. Well, Paula's been working with me, just minimize those things. It's okay to have a drink.
Exactly.
But you don't need 5 of them.
Exactly. And I know it's always quick when we have 5 minutes to do these, but with a little bit less than a minute to go, how did you take him from achieving his goals?
So I wanted to pick out what we could take with him that he still enjoys. And then, like we've talked about, being mindful and being moderate, right? So being mindful of what I'm putting in my body. Do I need 8 drinks? Am I satisfied with 3, right? Do I need 5 cookies or can I get by with 2? Also being prepared, right? Not eating on the run, not just snacking whenever you want, but proper planning. so that you never go hungry and that you're not making these spontaneous decisions.
Just those two tidbits in and of themselves, I think would make an amazing change. And you said you've noticed an amazing change.
It's life-changing already, and it's, you know, we're just about a month into it now, so I'm really looking forward to the
And
next.
how much have you lost so far?
20 pounds.
20 pounds by his discipline and his consistency. That's the key.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Mark.
joining
You're
us.
amazing
Thank
too.
you.
Way
Stay
to
with
go.
us. More to come.